What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 4 episode. What episode are we on? Episode 5, I think. 8. Ooh, Lord, 8. So we start this episode off. We have Whitney and her husband. Child, it's the baby's birthday party, and the husband got to work at his new job on their daughter's birthday. And she was like, well, I told you we were doing a party. He was like, I don't remember us talking about that. She was like, yes, we did. He said, well, I can't really miss this event. Like, this is the kickoff event for the company. Like, I can't really miss it. So she was like, well, I can change it to the weekend before, but I have another event that I'm throwing for for her beauty company. She was like, so that means we're going to have, like, back-to-back events, and I'm going to really need your help. He was like, well, I can help I'll get in where I fit in. I didn't hear no commitment in that. I heard, I can help you carry some stuff out the car. I can, I don't even know if he, I don't even know if he's going to do more than that, right? I can pick up an order or two, but I didn't hear any major, all right, I'm going to do it. Then she said, okay, well, have you made a therapy appointment yet? Child, he ain't done that either. Listen, I don't know what they got going on down there, but clearly their communication is not on the same page, okay? Then we see Heather and Monica going out. They're going riding on the snowmobiles. And, Heather is talking to Monica because of what happened at the Easter event. And she was saying to Monica, Monica was saying, well, I really appreciate you reaching out to me. Like, if you hadn't called me, I probably would be in bed right now. It's just really a lot. And so she tells Heather a little bit more about her history with her mom. She said, basically when I think she said 13 years old, my mom abandoned me. Like, she left me with some friends. She went to New York to live, to live off her dreams. And she left me in Pennsylvania. Like, I went to school. She said these weren't even, first she said they were family. Then she said, well, these weren't even family. These were like friends of my mom that I just knew. But she was just saying, listen, I have abandonment issues. And in that moment, I felt like my mom was abandoning me. And so that is why I reacted the way I reacted. And this is what my mom does. Like, this is what she does, right? Oh, the other thing that Whitney talked about was the fact that she invited Mary out for lunch. Child, wait till I get to that. I can't wait to get to the whole Mary conversation. So then we find out, so Heather is sort of like bonding with her because she was talking about her relationship with her mom and how, leaving the church has just been a really awkward, relationship, and she doesn't really have a great relationship with her mom since then. So they've sort of bonded on that a little bit. Then we see Jack. We're over at Lisa's house with Jack and her husband. He's pulling out his old pictures, his old photo albums, and his old memorabilia from his mission. And sort of bonded with Jack over it. We find out that Jack is going to have an announcement party. Like, it's almost like a gender reveal. Like, Lisa was like, it's a really big deal, to find out where your mission is going to be. Like, so they're going to have a party for Jack. And so the father, her husband is like telling Jack, listen, the door is open. If there were times during my mission that I wanted to come home. If you really feel like that and you really want to come home, I don't want you to feel like you can't call. I don't want you to feel like it's less than, And then Lisa starts telling this story because he was like, yeah, they were just people, there were times when I wanted to come home. So then Lisa starts talking about her roommate in college stealing her clothes because she wanted to be her. She was like, they're just really weird people out here. And like, it was hilarious the way they edited this with the music playing in the background and Jack and her husband kind of looking at each other like, what the? And I'm like, how does Lisa not see how self-centered she is? Like, how does she not understand how she makes everything about her? Like, girl. So then, later on in the episode, we do have the party, because I ain't about to drag that out. And it was a nice event. It looked like it was cute. Come to find out, child, everybody knew that this boy was going on a mission before Lisa. Even the husband knew, okay? Well, we find out that he is going to Colombia, and Lisa's response is, oh, he's going to Colombia? Oh, well, I know that means he's probably going to get a weapon drawn on him on a regular basis. girl. That might not have been the best conversation. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. So Jack is going to Colombia. He's already gone. And good luck to him. Be safe. Listen, I ain't want to judge nobody's situation. Okay, do you, Jack? Do you? We see that the ladies go cross country skiing. We have Monica, Meredith, Whitney, and Heather. So they go cross country skiing. Looks like it's going to be one of the last. They said that, Heather was like, enjoy it now because, this might be the last of the natural snow because we know this is after Easter. Well, if they're showing us in sequence, this is after Easter. So the ladies look like they were having a good time, So they have a little tailgate when it's over and they're talking. And again, Heather and Monica and Whitney sort of bond over the fact that they don't have relationships with their mom for different reasons. We know that Whitney and Heather's are because of their relationship, them leaving the church. And we know Monica's situation. So Whitney lets everybody know that she's having a birthday party for her daughter. And she said, look, everybody's invited. She said, but Meredith, I do want to kind of address something with you first. She was like, well, first of all, Angie's coming and she's bringing her family. And I want everybody to feel safe. And I feel like, I just feel weird because you threatened to ruin her life. And Meredith was like, girl, I didn't threaten to ruin that woman's life. She said, well, you said that you had information that could ruin her life. And I just feel like, I just want everybody to feel safe. And this is just a pattern that you seem to have. Baby, Meredith was like, well, you know what? I feel like if we were friends, you drove right past me when I had my car accident and you didn't even stop. Whitney was like, girl, I saw a car in a snowbank. I didn't know that was you. I didn't know it was you till the next day. And when I found out it was you, I called and checked on you. She was like, but I really feel like Meredith turning this into a whole situation is like deflecting from what I'm trying to say to her. And then Meredith had a whole moment, y'all. Meredith was doing the whole, I saw my life flash before my eyes. And all I could think about was, this is the last interaction could be. I was like, girl, Meredith, you doing a lot. Like, you are really giving me the drama right now. You are doing a lot. And let me be clear. I understand that in the moment when you are going through an accident, in the moment, it doesn't look like the end might not feel like what it was when you went through it. Like, okay, y'all might have just ended up in a snow embankment. But in the moment, you really thought you was going over a cliff. I get it. Like, but Meredith, you were doing a lot in that moment. Even though Whitney gets on my ever-loving nerves, you were doing a lot in that moment, okay? But I still don't even feel like we got to, because I don't know what you wanted from her, Whitney. Like, what did you want her to say in that moment? Like, I'm so sorry that, I threatened to tell people's deepest, darkest secrets. I'll never do it again. Like, girl, what you want her to say? I mean, again, I felt like Meredith was doing a lot in that moment, but I just don't know what you wanted her to say. Anyway, child. Now, the best part of this episode for me was when Whitney went to lunch with Mary. Baby, I was here for all of it. Because let me tell y'all something. I don't think we truly appreciated Mary her first time around, right? Mary got on my nerves, right? And Mary was doing a lot. And I was not always here for Miss Mary. But the one thing Miss Mary had right was Whitney. She clocked Whitney and her shenanigans from the door, okay? And she never let up on Miss Whitney. Once she figured Whitney out, baby, she did not let up. So she showed up for the lunch, right? And she told Whitney, once they ordered their food and all that, she told Whitney, she was like, okay, make this good. Make this good, girl. So Whitney starts off by apologizing to Mary, right? Then she gonna say to Mary, but I think you need to take accountability for the things you did to me too. Baby, what she say that for? Mary said, excuse me? She said, I take accountability? She said, you called me and my husband predators. She was like, you want me to compare the fact that I sent you some nasty text messages to you calling me and my husband predators? She said, no, ma'am. And I'm gone. She said, but I'm gonna take my food. She said, I'm up out of here. Oh, but I'm going to wait for them to get it to go. And when the waiter came over, the waitress came over there. She said, can I get it to go? The lady brought her to go. She said, can you pack it up? Baby, she sat there waiting for that lady to pack up that food. And she got up and she told Whitney, she said, I don't owe you anything. She said, you called me and my husband predators and you want me to compare and I'm not going to do it. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm here with that. Listen. If you want to apologize to me, you apologize to me. You don't apologize to me with the expectation that you are going to get an apology back. And that is the type of bullshit that Whitney does. You always want to dictate to other people what their reaction should be and what they should and should not do and say. If you want to apologize to Mary because you feel like you did something to Mary, then you apologize to Mary without any expectation. But for you to start off by saying, I apologize for the things I did. But, no, see, there's no but to that. Because maybe Mary would have acknowledged some of the things she did to you. Probably not. But maybe she would have. But you didn't even give her an opportunity to get to that point because you barely got your apology out before you started dictating that it was time for her to apologize to you. Now, listen. I mean, I'm Mary in that moment. You're not getting that. Now, I don't know if I would have. I don't know. I might have left my food sitting there. I don't even know. But I know what you wouldn't have got out of me as an apology. Even if I owed you one, you don't dictate to me that I need to apologize to you. And then she was like, well, Mary, you're absolutely correct. Like, I was wrong for, for speaking on you. She was like, no. You didn't just speak on me. You called me a predator. You called my husband a predator. Like, no, ma'am. We're not going to sit here and sugarcoat this and pussyfoot around what you said about me and my husband. Listen, I know a lot of things were said about Mary and her church and all of those things. But look, she has a right to be upset about it. And she has a right to respond in the way she chooses to respond. And Whitney, you don't get to tell her how and what and when she going to respond. And I was so here for Mary getting Whitney together. Because let me tell you something. Mary has seen Whitney from the dough. She has seen Whitney from the beginning, and she had her right here. And I was here for all of that. So then we see Angie with her daddy, and he's teaching her how to make one of his, like, famous dishes. I think lemon something rice. And, we get to hear a little bit more about her childhood. Her mom died so young that she was like, I never really got a chance to really see my parents date. Like, they had 7 kids, so they didn't really have date night a lot. And so she was telling her husband, her husband wasn't there. He was down at the salon. And she was like, yeah, she said, it's been 2 years since we've had any alone time because, we haven't had date night. We haven't done anything in like 2 years because, we've got our daughter and it's just so much. Now, listen, I understand that date night like a double date might not be the same as date night. And I even understand that going on a date while you're filming may not feel like date night. But girl, we just saw you have a whole dinner with Whitney and her husband. You had time to go on a whole vacation that you weren't invited to. Now, again, I granted, it's a job. You're filming. But, girl, you had time to go on a whole vacation you were not invited to. You got time to go out to dinner with your husband, like, without your child. Like, I'm sorry. I feel like we're creating something here. Then her husband came home, and she was like, we have dinner here, come on and have dinner with us. And he was like, no, I'm going to go take a shower first. Now, listen, I'm not saying her husband out there doing something he ain't supposed to be doing. But anytime somebody come home, child, you work at a salon. Why you need to take a shower first? Like, you're not working a construction job. I mean, maybe you were sweating down to the salon. I don't know. But I just thought that was real interesting that he came in the house and he was like, yeah. And then he was like, all right, I'll see y'all later. Like, he wasn't coming back. Like, he didn't say, okay, give me 15 minutes. He was like, yeah, I'm going upstairs to take a shower. I'll see y'all. I said, oh. Now, I ain't saying he out here in these streets. That is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that was an interesting interaction. You gotta take that how y'all want it. Last but not least, we see this scene with Monica and her mom. Now, let me say this, Bravo. I know that all of this shit is edited. I'm just going, I know that. Like, I know, I review what I see. I cannot review what I think happened. I cannot review the edit. I can only review what I see. Baby, I want to believe that this scene was edited. I want to believe that this scene was so edited because, listen, Monica and her mom. First of all, Monica gets there and she sits down, and her mom don't say a word. She just starts crying. And baby Monica is sitting there like, I have seen this play before. Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. And I am unmoved. And I believe it. Like, I feel like that's exactly what it was. So then when her mother realizes that she's not going to get anywhere with the crying, then she was like, so this is just how we're going to begin. And Monica was like, girl. So what we found out earlier in the episode, which I forgot to say, is Monica's car is in her mother's name because she probably couldn't get the credit going through a divorce and her husband was the breadwinner. She probably didn't have the credit, right? So the car is a lease and it's in her mother's name. So she said whenever my mom gets mad at me, she takes the car. So we see that Monica has a rental. So let me say something. And listen, far be it for me to be in people's pockets because I swear I don't want nobody in mine. But it's a reality show and you give us the information. So I'm going to just speak on it, okay? So you sit there and talk about how much money you don't have and how you are a single mom trying to make it happen. Yada, yada, yada. Girl, you driving a Range Rover that, by your own admission, you couldn't even get put in your own name. And again, I'm going to give you the benefit that you're going through a divorce. And I get that. I understand when people going through a divorce, their money is funny. I'm going to go there. But you driving a whole Range Rover. I understand you have a family of 4. But girl, you don't have to have a Range Rover for a family of 4. Then you go out and you rent a Cadillac Escalade. Ma'am, excuse me. You don't need to rent no Cadillac Escalade. You don't. But again, it is what it is, girl. It's not that serious, I guess. But whatever. So, then y'all get to going back and forth where you were telling your mother that you felt some kind of way down at Angie's party because you felt like your mom took... She's like, you took the side of strangers. Like, you don't even know these people, and you took their side over mine. Well, now, I can't go with you on that one, Monica, because you was acting like a whole ass down to that lady house in front of her family and shit, okay? You were being an ass. And I understood why your mother was embarrassed, and I understood why your mother was, like, apologizing for you. But you said that, you know, you already deal with abandonment issues, and that just made you feel even more abandoned because your mother is apologizing instead of taking your side. I mean, okay, then. So then Monica was like, she was like, well, what is wrong? Like, where do we begin? She said, well, girl, we need to go back to my childhood. We need to begin at my childhood because that is where this starts. You abandoned me. Her mother was like, girl, I did not abandon you. She said, you abandoned me. You left me with them people when you went to New York. She said, girl, I had a job in New York. She said, and I underestimated how expensive New York was. She said, I left you because basically I couldn't afford to have you living with me. Now, I am not defending her mother on that, but I also understand that some things are about perspective. Monica is seeing this from a child's perspective. Her mother is seeing it from her perspective. And I'm not saying either one of them are right or wrong. Then we find out that Monica was like, well, you need to deal with the fact that the trauma you had with your mother. Like, and Monica was like, look, your mama didn't want you and treated you like ish. I don't feel like you really wanted me, so you treated me like ish. And that is why we are where we are. So Monica said something like, do you care about how I feel? Her mother was like, no. I said, what? Did her mama say no? I have to feel like that was edited, right? So basically, they end up doing this back and forth. And finally, Monica's like, girl, I gotta go. Her mother was like, well, we clearly need therapy because I can't work on this. Now, I feel like her mother was being very performative in this moment. I feel like her mother was enjoying this moment and enjoying the cameras in her face. Like, even when she called Monica by her name. And Monica was like, girl, why you call me that? She said, because that's what I named you, Monica Darnell. She said, but you have not called me that in decades. Like, why all of a sudden now you calling me by that name? And again, I feel like that was very performative. I feel like she was trying to, you know, and I understand it's hard to accept possible shortcomings, especially on a public stage. But baby, Monica, if that is only a glimpse of what you've been dealing with, girl, I can't with both of you. Her mama almost made me need to go to therapy. Like, it was a lot going on with that. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I will talk to y'all later. Peace.